We're on live. You got the music. Hit the music, Rip. We're on live.
Oh, okay. It's playing right now.
Yeah, no, hit it. I thought you had it today.
Well, I hit it, but nothing happened, I guess. So something's making a lot of noise. It must be you chomping. See, we got the t-shirts on today. You see, you're plugging the Rip Rogers t-shirt.
You're talking over the music, Rip.
Oh, okay. I'll just sit here because I don't know when it ends because it don't play here.
Doesn't play there, huh?
Well, not until it's recorded, then it does.
Yeah, I plug our stuff every once in a while. You don't like to plug our stuff. I like to plug our stuff. You like to always plug other people's stuff and never plug our stuff. But
I do have the Outrunners shirt on today.
I talked to Turbo and Floyd yesterday, I think it was.
Oh, cool.
Called him about some blood sugar stuff.
Oh yeah, well Randy's got
I've been wearing the glucose gimmick.
Okay, yeah, Randy, he tells me all what it's over my head, but he's had that trouble. What shit, I should have diabetes or whatever. All I do is eat nothing but stuff you're not supposed to eat. But I'm not a doctor. What the hell, right?
Everything you always said not to do, now you're doing it.
Well, I made it this far. Hey, I did it my way. The king did it his way, and he's still kicking. He's looking good.
I got a text today from my sister or mom. Can't remember who.
Can't remember who your sister is.
Dick Van Dyke, 99 years old, man, clanging and banging in the gym. Somebody ran into him at the gym. Dick Van Dyke, 99 years old, still going strong.
Well, you got to remember, he was Pitter Patter Petrie too when he was in the service. Okay. The big dancer, Pitter Patter Petrie. And when you're Pitter Patter Petrie, you Pitter Patter Petrie till at least 100. That's why he's Dick Van Dyke, and that was why he was Pitter Patter Petrie. Of course, if I was doing Mary Tyler Moore like Dick Van Dyke was, what the hell, right?
Was he?
I'd have a little step.
Little pep in your step?
Yeah, I don't have a step. I got a clump drag, pull one leg on and drag the other one.
The master of the drag.
Yeah, I'm the master of Bader.
What's been going on, Rip? How's your week been? Good week?
Oh, this is the greatest. Yeah, I woke up today and I said, oh, today's Friday, I think. So they're all the same. Nothing but the countdown, the final quarter of life. We're in the fourth quarter. You're like
that's when you know you got when you know you got it made, man. When you don't even know what day is what, that's when you know you got it made.
Oh, okay. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
I just got to think about it. Oh, I had to get some toilet paper, then I had to get some trash bags. Then I had to get me some extra Diet Pop, because I'm not supposed to be drinking, so I only drink 2 liters a day. What the hell? You can't do everything, right?
I better check the chat and make sure people can hear us. Remember that one day we went like 15 minutes and we were on mute the whole time. So
well, it wouldn't be the first time. Probably won't be the last time.
Hopefully 70QQ says audio and video is good. Yep, there he is.
Well, he's right on there. Hey, today's Greg Smith's birthday.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday, Greg Smith.
I think he's 29 still. In my mind, I'm still 19,
That's the truth. Or younger, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
I'd give you 16, maybe.
Maybe 12.
Talion's in here from Green Valley, Illinois. Tom Montgomery, hey, it's his son's birthday. Zeth is 13 today. Happy birthday, Zeth.
Lucky number 13. Man, when I was 13, that would have been 1967. That would have been a great year, because the world there wasn't no cell phones, there wasn't no internet. All you knew what was happening in Seymour, Indiana, when you get WJCD on the radio, or you look at the Seymour Tribune. Now at the King, he wasn't putting his paper out then, so I didn't I didn't know anything. I really didn't know anything in this world till the king started putting his paper out. But you know,
The
what the
sports
hell?
scene. It was just a sports paper.
Right. Speaking of sports, what about the Fever, baby?
Well, they
One,
got killed the other night, but they're back home 1-1. Back home tonight.
yeah. What?
Indianapolis.
Why are they at home? Why do they go? They started out on the road, and then they went home, then they go home again.
No, this is their first game home. They played
No,
2 games in Las Vegas, and now this one at
no,
home.
no.
Yeah.
No, we beat their ass on the road. They've already came to Indianapolis and they beat our ass.
No. Is that how you did it? I think that's how you did it, right?
I think so, but I can't remember.
No.
Then my phone's wrong.
They won both games in Las Vegas. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Who
Both
won
games.
both?
Or they didn't
They
lose
both.
both, but they played both games in Las Vegas. Sunday, they
Yeah.
won in Las Vegas 89-73. And
Okay.
then Tuesday, they lost in Las Vegas 90-68. Tonight in Indianapolis.
Well, okay.
I think you're getting your homes and your aways mixed up.
Well, I can't remember where I'm at. You know,
from your location. That's what. Yeah.
That might be it.
70 QQ in here from E-Town, Kentucky. Billy Ray Dollar from Gainesville, Texas, baby. And Billy, now a YouTube member of the Wrestling with Rip Rogers channel.
It don't get any better than that.
You're the man, Billy Ray Dollar. Thanks, buddy. Manny the Weasel Valverde in the house. Every woman's fantasy and every husband's nightmare. T Weasel in the house.
Okay,
Let's have not only a great show today, but the greatest show ever. Love it.
He's kissing ass because he ain't a member.
Hey, Weasel, is the Oktoberfest next weekend? I think it is, right? I haven't been in many, many years, but me and Jamie Wingler were talking about going to the Oktoberfest next weekend.
Well, you can talk about it all you want, but you can't go until you can't. We got to have a program first.
T-Pack in the house in green. T-Pack in the house. Total Pack 10. Rip, how bad will Iowa beat IU on Saturday? I don't think Iowa's going to beat IU.
I don't either. IU's on fire for now.
On fire, baby.
This is the greatest since they had John Pont as coach, John Eisenbarger, Harry Gonzo, all the top stars. And I was going to their games when I was 13 because I go the boys club, Harry C. Cherry and the boys club. We'd always get to go to we get the cheapo tickets that the boys club would buy, and the kicker, he was such a shitty kicker for IU. He could never kick it over the goal. It wouldn't even make the stands. This was before the Jan Stenerud sidewinder kick. Everybody would be a fat lineman just kicking. I think his name was Don Warner. He could barely kick it over the goalpost. He was so rotten.
Wow.
But anyway, since Harry C. Cherry, the director of the boys club, and Seymour, he was the living legend of playing for the Hoosiers, we'd always get the special attention. The Seymour Boys Club, it announced it on the loudspeaker at IU. Awesome time.
You were over.
No, I wasn't over, but I had a good
downhill
time.
from there. Shane Parks in green from Roseburg, Oregon is here. George Jessen in the house from outer space. Greg Smith in green is here. Happy birthday. Sees on.
Yeah, he's 829 still.
Took his birthday off just to come on here for his birthday. Frank's Pickle Barrel ass in green. Hello, Ripper and Chopper and Chooper. William Lynn to Iowa 3, Indiana 2. I don't know what that means. Is that the score?
Well, let's see. It would be
Scott Robert the Sage in the house. Terry Cox in the house, Rip. Says, hello, Rip. Do you know Terry Cox, Rip?
Yeah. Hadn't seen him in a while.
Well, he's here today, man.
Well, he's probably set his alarm just because he wanted to get over, knowing we're going to put Terry Cox over today because he hit the show today. So it don't get any better than that.
Frank said, I did my wife in 1998 this weekend for the first time. So he's celebrating his, what is that? His 27th anniversary of nailing his wife this weekend, Rip.
I wonder if has he done it since then? If he was, who was he thinking about when he did it? And who was she thinking about? You know, what the hell, right? He is known for his length and thickness too.
Pyrrhus Wrestling in the house. Stephen Allen in green in the house. LD Doc here today. Sean NG. Oktoberfest is next weekend. All right. Looks like we got a full house today, Rip.
Well,
everybody's here.
Well, I don't know if Big George is here. I know Screaming
Big George isn't here.
Well, he had some trouble. He had to troubleshoot his class where he wasn't working. They ran the substitute off. I guess they scared the substitute, and George had to come and restore order in his classroom. So I think he get a little extra money for overtime or whatever, since the other guy checked out, said he ain't coming back to that zoo. So Big George should have it under control. And I was talking about Screaming Baboon. I think he's seriously thinking about competing in the Mr. Australia contest. Just reading his body language of that big buy, I think he'd be, it's just something to do. Screaming Baboon, Mr. Australia, sounds good.
Manny said he's scared of Screaming Baboon, I think he said. Oh, no. He said, I scared off. Baboon's not here today. T Weasel said it's because he scared him off.
Well, he probably saw the weasel naked, taking his monthly shower at the boys club. And he glanced down between his legs and didn't see nothing there. And it scared him away, because Screaming Baboon likes a guy with length and width and a good attitude.
Alfred Allen just became a member, Rip. We got two new members today.
Shit, we're on fire is what it is. It must be, even though I said we're not going to recognize the weasel, he might be drawn. He might be drawing all these people in. The legend of Manny the Weasel Valverde, the man who wins all the poker tournaments in Scottsburg and Austin. I think he's been banned in Seymour for having too many hot dogs on his neck.
Go ahead.
Don't want to confirm that though, but it's a hot rumor going around.
Hot rumor for sure. Center of the board. So last week we ended and we went off the air, and center of the board had paid a super chat question, and I put a message in there and said, "Hey, we'll get to it next week." Yeah, so go ahead, center of the board. Go ahead with your question from last week that we didn't get to. Put that in the chat, and then I'll get to it. And then I'll get to Shane Parks right after that, has a super chat question. So actually, I'll just do Shane Parks while I'm waiting on center of the board. I'll do center of the board next. So Shane Parks, $5 super chat. Thanks a lot, Shane. How did you and Adrian Street get put together? And did the valets get involved?
Well, we only got involved the first night. Well, the first night we came in, because Adrian had been there I don't know how many years. He came in as the big hot heel, and then he turned babyface. So Ron Fuller said he needs somebody to wrestle. And then he had his valet, Miss Linda, and I had my valet, Miss Brenda. So it was sort of like a natural thing. If you could see Adrian Street as a heel, you would never believe him as a babyface. But then again, once you saw him as a babyface, you couldn't believe him as a heel. He was just so multi-talented. So yeah, we worked for 6 months. We worked every show together except 2 or 3 spot shows, and that was it. So Fuller said, "Hey, come on in here. I need you to work with Adrian Street." I said, "Okay." He said, "We'll just do it until it runs its course." So 6 months later, it ran its course, and he said, "Okay, I'm going to figure." I said, "No, I'm leaving." He said, "What?" I said, "This was the greatest thing I've ever done, of just having so much fun and everything. I'm not going to top this, but no matter who else you put me with, I'm leaving." He said, "Damn, you just got here. I said, I know, but they're sick of seeing they didn't change talent around there that much. There was always the Fullers. There was Jimmy Golden. It was Jerry Stubbs, Arn Anderson. It was a lot of the same guys all the time. So I said, no, get me in and then get me out. If you don't leave, they can't never miss you. And I want them to miss me so I can come back later. But greatest feud I ever had in the States. And when I went to Global in '91, the first night in, me and Adrian Street were the main event. This is when Global used to play on ESPN. And Adrian said it was the best feud he'd ever had in the States. Not over the world, but in the States. I said, well, hell, that's better than nothing. So what the hell, right?
Now, you said the Valets only got involved once with each other?
No, I didn't say that.
I thought that's what you said right in the very beginning. They got involved once.
For the very first weeks, I slapped Linda in the face right away. Adrian jumped on me and Brendan in, and then they had to pull apart, and we were off and running. We didn't waste any time. We got right to it.
We have one video on our channel. Shane Parks had to go to our channel and look at the Adrian Street matches with Rip. I got one clip somewhere where you clotheslined Miss Linda and about took her head off.
Well, you know, what the hell, right? Yeah. Even in slow motion, it's got to look good. So I said,
did you ever apologize for that?
I said, Adrian told me to hit you as hard as I could, so I did. And then she punched him right in the face. He had a little bloody lip. I said, damn. Wow. He goes, well, she hits me harder at night, so what the hell, right?
Center of the board's question from last week was, who was Izzy Slapowitz?
Okay, Izzy Slapowitz was really Jeff Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Smith from New York City. I first met him when he was my manager in Mississippi, and he moved to Knoxville, and then he became the manager of the Devil's Duo, Jeff Sword and Doug Vines in ICW. But Izzy did the redneck, pencil neck, schlemiel, he would call you. He was the Jewish manager. So that was that was different. But Izzy was a hell of a talker, and having him with Jeff Sword and Doug Vines really elevated them, and they got a lot of confidence because we got Jeff Sword out of the ICW wrestling school, and he was one of the few that lasted because Garvin went in and pretty much stretched everybody the first night in, and most of them quit. Garvin didn't want any new wrestlers anyway. He goes, they should be buying ringside, and here we are taking their money, and then we got to babysit them. So, but anyway, Garvin would he would straighten he would stretch all the young boys, and Ronnie, he was sort of a bully and he liked it, but what the hell, right?
Center of the board, thank you. And also he's got another question here. $10 super chat from Center of the board. Hey Rip, did you ever get a chance to wrestle the Boogie Woogie Man, handsome Jimmy Valiant? How over was he in Memphis?
Jimmy was one of the greatest ever over in Memphis, and of course I got a chance to wrestle him. My favorite story was I was wrestling him in Scottsburg, Indiana. It was Scottsburg or Austin, I can't remember which one, and he said
Scottsburg.
It was Scottsburg. He said, hey Rip, tonight take no violence, baby. I tried this song and dance, blah blah blah, have some fun out there. I said, okay, Jimbo. He walked out, look left, look right. I hit that son of a bitch over the head with a chair as hard as I could. He went down and started doing the boogie. So that was a hell of a rib. He didn't want to get touched. He wanted to have a good time. So I'm just beating the shit out of him right away. So that was fun. But then again, I was just paying him back because he stuck me for a fish sandwich years ago, and I just remembered about it, so I reminded him of it when he was laying there doing the Jimmy Valiant going. But anyway, that was a good.
I mean, story. You had to wrestle him times before that, right?
Yeah, but that was the most fun one ever.
Yeah, I was there for that one.
Yeah, that was the most fun ever because I'd usually just do whatever he wanted to do because he was the veteran, and I said, okay, whatever you want. whatever song and dance we'll play, we'll do this and that. So then, since I never ribbed him before, all of a sudden I ribbed me. He comes back and goes, brother, you got me.
Well, I was there. So we came into the building and Jimmy was sitting in a chair with his legs crossed.
Always the legs crossed.
Like dip in or whatever, like rocking back and forth. He's like, Ripper, brother, how's it going, brother? Ripper. Hey, Jimmy, how's it going? No violence tonight, Ripper. No violence tonight. No violence tonight, Jimmy. And then I got the gimmick table set up, and then he comes out. You jumped him from behind the dressing room door and then took him all around and threw him over our gimmick table. And then I think you took like the ghetto blaster that they played people's music on back then and hit him over the head with it. But then he got you back with everything and the trash can and all that. But that was awesome.
That was one of the most fun nights I ever had.
How over was he in Memphis? He had to be over in Memphis, didn't he?
Oh my God, Boogie. Yeah, he was one of those guys. Whether he went in as a heel. I remember I used to drive him there. He picked me up at Hoffmeister's gym, and we go work Louisville, and then we would go to then we would go to Memphis. No, Louisville. Then we would go to Evansville. Then we would come back. But they was always flying him into Memphis, and then he would go back. Then he would go back to Indianapolis because he had to see Felicia. So I'd meet him at Hoffmeister's gym, and then we'd ride off and do the dirty deed. But the Boogie, he was one of those guys like Austin Idol. If he wasn't working like in Charlotte. I remember he was so over with Jarrett's in Memphis, they actually bought him a house. But Boogie couldn't take it. He put the key back and says, brother, I'm out of here, baby. So Handsome Jimmy, the legend, he was a legend in Memphis. That's for damn sure.
I love
you tell my stories better than I do. I like to sit back because most of the shit I can't remember anyway.
I love Valiant. Sean NG from Canada, Canadian 699. I showed up late. Who's on your shirt, Rip?
Oh, I got the Outrunners, Turbo and Floyd, Randy and Shiloh. They give me the free T-shirt to advertise whatever, since I don't advertise my own stuff.
Outrunners on AEW. If you haven't seen them, go check them out. They're the greatest tag team in the world.
And Clint idolizes Turbo. So
I don't know who Clint is, Mark.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Von Lilas. He's got the thing, the thing he wears on his arm like Randy now. Turbo does. There it is. See. Well, I think that's for his atomic elbow smash like Dusty hit him with the tricep, is what it is.
You going to keep the beard growing forever, he wants to know.
Well, I left my clippers in Indianapolis, so I don't have any clippers. I got to get somebody to do this, but I don't want to pay $30 to do it. This and that. I just need to buzz my head too. But then again, I lost all my hair so much in there, I'd be looking like most of these other wrestlers. They're all bald headed, and I didn't want to do a bald head gimmick. But yeah, I need to shave this, and I can go another 6 months to a year of doing it again.
Center of the board with the big 20 spot. Hey, Rip, did you ever wrestle for Mike Jackson in Birmingham? He was enhancement talent. I didn't know he was also a promoter.
Well, he promotes himself. That's for damn sure. But I remember when I first met Mike, he was the ring announcer. And he would work underneath or do TVs a lot for in Atlanta, and but for Nick Goulas, he was the announcer in Birmingham, and I didn't know that he was doing that other stuff because I didn't watch wrestling on TV. But he was a great worker, and I worked with him I think about 2 years ago in Dothan. And the thing about it is, he's older than me, and I'm 71, and he pretty much looks the same. And he can still do everything that he did when he was in his 20s, and he liked to take the strap down. And then look at when Mike pulls the strap down, look out, baby. But he was a good wrestler. He was a smart guy, and he's had a great career, and he's really survived in his business. As far as a promoter, I don't know. I remember he would take a carload of guys to Atlanta and stuff. So he was making money in every aspect of this business. The late Mike Jackson, he was awesome.
Yeah, don't say the late great. Don't say
Yeah,
late yet.
yeah.
Put the kiss of death on him.
Mm-hmm.
William Lynn in the house, $4.99 super sticker here. Give us a question, William. We'll get it. Oh, wait, he's got one here. Could you talk about Ed Wiskowski and what he was like to work with, as well as a person? I cut my teeth watching the Polish Prince go at it with George Wells.
Okay, Ed Wiskowski, the Polish Prince. He was Buddy Rose's tag team partner in Portland before I got there, and then he had to have a nut operation. So he quit work. He quit working, and then and so I became Buddy's partner. But he was a great pro. He worked as Derek Draper in Tampa. Then he was Colonel De Beers in the old AWA. The Colonel was talented. He was smart to the business. He was easy to work with. He was trained by the great Sonny Myers in Kansas City, and yeah, the Polish Prince. He was quite the ladies' man. He ended up, I think he ended up marrying the daughter of the guy that owned Portland Meadows in Portland. So Ed was cool. You would have liked him. Made a lot of trips with him, in the ring a lot with him, and all around good guy.
Thanks, William Lynn. Thanks, Sean NG. Thanks to the board, everybody that's participating today. I found a little photo here of me and Boogie when he came to the Oktoberfest. Remember when he came to the Oktoberfest, set up shop at the 13th floor in Seymour Oktoberfest. I went out and met him on the interstate and brought him into town. Look at that beard I had, man. Dark beard. Now it's all gray. It's pretty cool.
You was just, yeah, I think you did. You didn't even have to put any dark in it. Him. Look at the big arms. The big arms. Oh, you had a full head of hair. You had the nice beard. Man. Shit, you was in the prime of life.
What happened, man? What happened?
Well, I don't think, as Boogie would say, Father Time don't wait on nobody, brother.
It's waited on Boogie. He's still wrestling, man. He's on his 14th retirement tour.
I think he's on year 8 of the Boogie retirement tour.
Oh, I thought it was 14.
No, I don't.
Match ever again.
It might have went. It might have been. I lose track of everything.
Shane Parks, $2 super chat. Thanks, Shane. Worst gimmick match you or Vaughn ever wrestled in?
I'm trying to think. That covers a lot of ground since I was all gimmick. Vaughn, he was all gimmick.
I wasn't all gimmick.
AG, all gimmick.
I mean, I've talked about mine on here before. Probably the worst gimmick match was that. What was it called? I can't even think of what it was called now. Susio had it at the strip club. It was like a Royal Rumble where everybody brought a weapon. Tsunami street fight or Texas tornado Japanese street fight or something.
Well, Susio always had some of those. Let's just say he's his own man and he does his own shit. That's for damn sure. So,
but it was an outdoor at a strip club, so it was awesome. So the strippers were just walking around everywhere.
What city? Remember?
Yeah, it was like southern, down like by New Albany, Indiana, along the river. The Rusted Frog, I think, is what it was.
Oh, okay,
strip club was called.
Yeah,
Sabu was on that show. Melissa Coates, both of them were on that show. R.I.P. both of them. Jimmy was there with Tanea. She was there. He wrestled Colt Cabana, I think.
Okay.
I was in the big Battle Royal street fight with Rob Terry was there in it, and Boogeyman was in it. A lot of people. Okay. Boogeyman weapon was the worms, I guess. That's what he took to the ring.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's okay. Well,
all the top stars were there.
Yeah, he was a little bit of a gimmick, wasn't he?
Yeah. You had to have some kind. Didn't you have one where the fans brought the weapons for real? Was that a real one, kind of? Puerto Rico, maybe, or somewhere?
Well, Puerto Rican, they would bring all them real ass gimmicks. None of them were. Yeah, they would bring them. They bring shovels and shit in, right? So that was a wild one. I was trying not to kill everybody, and I was trying not to keep from getting killed.
There's the King and Boogie at the Oktoberfest. Look at that.
Oh, I thought it was the King, and he's getting a little on the side.
Look at Boogie. He's got the tights and the boots on at the Oktoberfest. Don't get no better than that.
He's over.
He wasn't even wrestling.
And King looking like a giant, baby.
Yeah, but all gimmick there.
But JV would sell more gimmicks. You know, being dressed as, they'd be looking for JV, so he had to give them what they wanted.
They got another new member, third new member of the day. It might be a record. Brian Colstein, new member. Oh no, I take that back.
25 months.
Just a notification. He's been a member for 25 months. Holy cow. 25 months. That's over 2 years, Rip, of this shit.
That's great. Great to have him here.
Miles last stories, Rip.
25 months. What's so funny on the stories is like hell, most of the stuff I can't remember, and he'll start saying something, then all of a sudden I'll remember it. Of course, I can't remember what day it is, if I got any clothes on, if I got any underwear on, or whatever. So that's just the way it is.
Oh, has the machine. Wrong one, but I can get to one of your questions here. Center of the board, $5 super chat. Hey, Rip. There was a Roy Welch who was a jobber in Southeastern. Was he related to the Fuller?
All the Fullers are really Welches. That's his cousin. Roy Welch, what he would do, like when the first time I went down, and he was a hell of a wrestler. He was the king of wrestling the second time I was there. But the first time I was there, since they were all cousins and they had part of the company and stuff, he was a minority stockholder with like Jimmy Golden, Ron, and Robert Fuller. But all the Fullers were Welches. So Roy Welch, when I was there, he would just work the gimmick table and he would announce sometime. And I just said, "Oh, he don't wrestle or nothing," but he was a part owner. But they was just giving him time off TV because the next time I'd come back, he was King Roy Lee Welch. He was the king of wrestling. So you go through a lot of in Fuller's territory, he'd have a lot of relatives wrestling, and usually all the Armstrongs. And if you come back 3 years later, all the same guys are there, but they were baby faces. They were now heels. And if they were heels when they left, they come back and they're all baby faces. And that's the way the world revolved. But Roy Lee Welch, he'd been in the business his whole life.
Thank you, center of the board. Stephen Keys wants to know if anybody's been to Jimmy's museum. You ever go to Jimmy's school or museum or whatever he's got there?
Well, if I'd have had...
Isn't that West Virginia? Somewhere like that?
If I'd have had, what's his face, the little guy. Who was the guy that drove him around?
I don't know, Mario. But he told me he was now officially a Valiant. Jimmy said he could be a Valiant.
Yeah, Super Mario.
Oh, that guy. I thought you meant at the Oktoberfest. There's another guy that brought him to the Oktoberfest. Super Mario was his driver when you wrestled him at the Louisville Gardens.
Yeah, this was Gary Valiant, right? I think, yeah, they got a lot of Valiant cousins, you know.
I've never been, but I did try to get Boogie on this show. And
I got to eat.
He doesn't do it for free, which is fine. Everybody else does this show for free, by the way. He doesn't do it for free, which is fine. I would actually pay Jimmy Valiant to be on here, but he doesn't know how to do like the internet and connection and all that. So he only does stuff he told me in person. He said I needed to go to his place and he would do a sit down with me. I still might do that. I don't know. I'd like to go do that sometime, but it's just not a very convenient location. There was nowhere really to fly in. It was like kind of in the middle of nowhere, I think. But I think it would be fun and worth it to just go and do.
Well, if you was rich, you could do that. You know, just take time off. You know, Angel be cooking for you, just like Arn would cook. My mom would cook for more coffee, handsome Jimmy. A half cup, Arn, just a half cup. Got to watch the latch, you know.
Got another picture in.
There's the king. He's got the Hustler beer.
The king from Seymour, Indiana. My dad, King Lilas,
Doesn't
was
need
out
any.
and about the other day drinking some Hustler beer at the local Brooklyn Pizza there with Sean Malone.
God, I
Sean
need.
said he's ready to get another event going, another show going. So we knocked it out of the park last time, like 3 years ago. So good. He wants to do another one sometime. I said, well, might be a little difficult right now at this time for both of us, but King's there and Hustler beer rip. Now, do you get a royalty on every beer sold there, or how does that work?
I think they're holding it back, and they're going to hit me with a surprise jackpot money. Usually, I'll just go in there if I get a pizza or whatever. I don't have to pay for it. So what the hell, right? But they, you know, he's put out the Hustler beer for years. Always treated us really good, and just awesome place to go.
Especially when it's free.
Yeah, last time we was there, had the big show, and we had Outrunners. We had the Outrunners there before they was at the Outrunners.
Well, they were called the Outrunners.
Was they? Or just Turbo and Floyd? Or
no, they were the Outrunners.
Okay. They stole the show. I can't remember if they spin to win or spun to one or whatever.
You thought they stole the show? I thought I did. Maybe you forgot about that.
Well, I was talking to my sister, so I might have. But then again, and you hit him with that. Then I remember how he flexed his pecs, and I think you hit him with so many of them, you had to switch hands. Your hand was numb. After 3 of them, the hand gets numb.
I know I've missed a lot of chats. We've had a lot of super chats, so obviously I skipped those. I could come back to some in green. I'll get Brian Colsty in here in green. I thought he was a new member, but 25 months. We'll give him a question. Rip, did you ever work with Dutch Mantel? If so, any good stories?
Well, I worked with Dutch a lot, especially for Nick Goulas in 1978. And then Randy had worked with Dutch Mantel a lot. So then I came in, and then he got a part, and he was like partnered with the Mexican Angel. So me and Randy worked a lot of tags as us two against Dutch Mantel and the Mexican Angel. So Dutch has been around a long time, been in the ring with a lot. I'll guarantee there'll be no violence when we get in that ring together. No violence at all. No.
Now, you did have a little feud with him in Memphis, at least for like that. What was it, like the Mid-Atlantic title or something it was called? I can't remember.
Mid-America Championship, ladies.
Mid-America. There we go.
Yeah, they didn't have enough belts in Memphis.
I think he called you the Q word, possibly.
I don't know.
On TV. I remember you were doing that interview with him out there with Lance, I believe, and didn't he slap you, or you slapped him, I think, right?
I can't remember. Somebody would slap somebody.
Now, I know I've surely told this story on here, but the first time I ever got to go to a wrestling show with Rip as like I'll call it a worker, if you want me to use that word. When I drove you to Illinois, we always argue on the town, but Dutch was on the card. I was going to be Rip's manager for the first time ever against the California kid, the Colorado kid. What was his name?
Colorado kid.
That
was Burt Prentice's show, because he'd go, Colorado.
But Burt wasn't there. This was in some elementary school. But anyway, we're in the dressing room, and I'm sitting there. First time I've really been in the dressing room. And Dutch is sitting there with the bull whip, kind of whipping it around a little bit. He said, "So, how long you been working?" And I said, "Well, just tonight." About 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So he was going to hit the ring or something during a match or a promo or something. And You just said you better get out of there as fast as you can, because if you're still in there when he gets there, you're gonna get hit with that whip.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, I got to get out of here.
But Dutch could do it real well because he could just make it miss you by like an inch or two, and you just sell it anyway, like it hit you. He was real good. That's why he was practicing all the time to measure distance.
Yeah, I wasn't sticking around to find out. Center of the board, $20 super chat. Center of the board, thanks a lot. COB, baby. Hey, Rip, people think that Vince McMahon was the first promoter to use stars, but Bill Watts said that there were always stars around wrestling. Can you talk about some of the ones that you met when you were wrestling?
Well, okay. WWE is nothing more than a territory with a lot of guys in it. And when WWE first went big time, they were using the old guys from Vince Sr.'s WWF, and then they started making their own. But it's like every territory had its stars. And there used to be like 23 territories in the United States, Canada, and Puerto Rico, not even counting overseas. But there were always stars around wrestling. That's what you had to have. You got TV to make your stars.
Oh, hold on. He's got a correction. He's talking about show business stars, not wrestling stars.
Oh,
like showbiz. So Vince used a lot of showbiz, musicians, actors, whatever. Bill Watts apparently said there was always stars hanging around it, which I've heard you say the musicians wanted to be wrestlers. Wrestlers wanted to be musicians. You always wanted to hang out with the other famous or whatever. So
we were all superstars and we were all marks or something. So if you was a wrestler, we wanted to hang with the real boxers. The real boxers wanted to hang with us because they learned how to get over. It's like in the Rocky movies, they would have all these guys with the stars and stuff. It's got to be bigger and bigger and bigger for each one. It's got to be different. But you get a name. That's like when they would use Dennis Rodman for wrestling, right? Now, why in the hell would you want to use? Because you'll get a crossover audience. So if you're getting a crossover audience from all these different people, that means if it's a big house show, it'll probably be a sellout. Or if it's a pay-per-view, you'll draw basketball fans. And this guy was Steve McMichael or whatever. They tried to make him a wrestler, but he was famous for the Chicago Bears and stuff. So you started using these well-known athletes, and you get crossover buys is what it is.
So back in the territory day, then, did you ever meet any famous people that were like hanging out at the territories or coming to the shows or anything like that?
Not that I can really think of, but I wouldn't have known who they were anyway. I was just only people I knew was like Major League Baseball. I would know it would be Major League NBA players, NFL players, or Major League Baseball players. And if they were there, if they didn't have their hat off, I wouldn't have known who they were anyway, probably.
Got it. All right. Well, sorry, Center of the Board. Rip's never met a famous person, apparently.
Well, they weren't famous to me.
Well, to somebody else. Is there anybody that was famous to somebody else, maybe?
Well, I don't know. I would look. I was just looking for hot women and stuff. I didn't care about some guy was on TV or whatever.
Have you ever met a famous person in your life that you can think of that's not a wrestler?
I don't know if I did. I really didn't pay any attention to him.
All right. Pot Tripper, Pot Ripper Jr. Did that Bill Kazmaier toss hurt? It looked bad.
Oh, I remember I got in the ring with Bill Kazmaier. I remember him. Goddamn, he was like the strongest man in the world or something. Jesus Christ, he almost killed me doing nothing. But he wasn't trying to. He was just the world's strongest man. You're supposed to be the world's strongest man, but know how to pro wrestle. But they were just wanting when you're the world's strongest man and you're advertised as that, people want to come and see you and see us kill us little guys. But he was a nice guy. He was way too nice for wrestling. In wrestling, you got to be devious to survive, because it ain't like I'm Lilas and I'm 6'5". Hell, I was 5'10" and a half before I started shrinking. Now I'm barely 5'9", if that, with the old legs going in and shit like that. But anyway,
yeah, if that, right? Yeah.
Bill Kazmaier was a real nice guy, and he didn't want to hurt anybody. But my God, if he did anything, you would get hurt just running into him.
70QQ's got it right. He said, "Damn it, Vaughn, you know Rip was working every night. He did not have time to go out and meet famous people."
Well, I didn't.
It's a running joke of the show, Rip. Every time we ask you anything, you're like, "I wrestle. I worked every night. How am I going to watch TV? How am I going to meet famous people? How am I going to do this? I worked every night."
Yeah. Okay.
That is our point.
Excuse me. When I was in the prime of life, I was waking up and going to the gym for how many hours a day? Then I'd get something to eat, a minimum of 5 hours every motherfucking day. I think that's the first time I cussed today.
Maybe. About time.
Oh, well, I was trying to keep it down under that 30 seconds to begin with, at least.
Brian Colstein, $5 super chat. Andy's in green. Some claim Jerry Lawler was one of, if not the first, to use popular music in wrestling. Some say it started with the Freebirds. What's your take, Rip?
As the Disco Kid, I was using music before the Freebirds was. I used to come out to Donner Summer music with my big old boom box working for Nick Goulas when I was a Disco Kid. I don't know. There was somebody doing the Pomp and Circumstance song years and years and years ago. I think it was the original Gorgeous George. And I don't think Lawler, he used to have the nice videos he would put music to them and stuff. But I remember just when I was a fan going to, Bruiser had a big sellout at Market Square Arena, and it was total silence and the spotlights would come out. And then all of a sudden there was no music. It was silent. And all of a sudden Dick the Bruiser would come out and the place would just go fucking nuts. Went from complete silence. They were just standing waiting for him to see his human face come out with the no teeth and the scars on him and the torn biceps, the torn triceps, looking like he was this total badass. But anyway, no, I had music for the Freebirds then. So
you were the first. You heard it right here on Wrestling with Rip Rogers. Ask Rip Rogers Live. He was the first wrestler to ever use music.
No,
I say that before. You thought you remembered yourself doing it before anybody else.
Yeah, but the Pomp and Circumstance thing, that the original Gorgeous George was way before that.
Now, did you ever use the boombox on Dick the Bruiser, where I would have seen it on TV? I know I saw on TV once you come out as the Disco Kid with the boombox. I know I saw it on TV when I was a kid.
If I worked for Dick the Bruiser, I was Mark Shira.
How would I have seen that then? I can see it to this day, pictured in my brain. It wasn't from YouTube video or anything like that. Did they ever show Nick Goulas TV and Seymour like what I've ever seen?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh, then how? What would have been on?
Be on Channel 41.
I always thought that was Dick the Bruiser's wrestling on there.
No.
He was Channel 4.
Yes. He was on Indianapolis station.
So 41 had Goulas. What was it called?
This Nick Goulas Wrestling, whatever the hell it was.
Surely it wasn't called Nick Goulas Wrestling.
Whatever it was. I don't fucking know.
I want to know what it was called.
Well, why don't you fucking Google it and see?
Well, how do you know every other territory you'll name them all, and you don't know this one?
No, because I can't remember. It was all something fucking wrestling, but I don't know what the fuck it was. See, anybody else you would only answer questions that you could look up and find. It looks like he was smart, knew the answers. I'm just these are on the goddamn fly shit.
I mean, you name every other territory and wrestling promotion you've ever worked for. I figured you would know what Nick Goulas's was called.
Well, I'm just thinking of him doing You're in the Greatest Stars of Many, Many Months, The Rough Tough Team, of Tojo Yamamoto, Going Up Gypsy Joe, and The Masked Interns. Don't forget, now it's Tuesday night. Tickets be on sale at the box office. See you Tuesday night. Is this Goulas and Welch Wrestling?
So you can remember all of that.
Well, that was the thing that got implanted in my head when I was a kid, so I could do that because
Yeah,
I was always imitating it.
I definitely saw you as the disco kid. So
yeah, okay.
Center of the board, $5 super chat. Hey Rip, do you remember the Crockett Promotions TV sitcom Learning the Ropes? What was your opinion of that show? Wah wah wah. We'll see if Rip makes it back here. Anybody look up Nick Goulas Wrestling, what it was called? I see Center of the board said, was it Mid-American? I have no idea. But somebody could maybe Google it and see. Hey, there he is.
Yeah. Of course, we had to get the gimmick fucking phone call that shuts everything down.
Gimmick phone call, baby. Do you remember the Crockett Promotions TV sitcom Learning the Ropes? Did you ever you remember that show?
Never had a clue what it was. I didn't live in the Crockett territory. If you was talking about Crockett's when they had TBS, and I didn't watch it then either. But if anything, if it was Learning the Ropes and you're exposing the business on TV, that was the fucking one of the downfalls of pro fucking wrestling when they had them stupid Tough Enough shit and everything. So when you're exposing the business on fucking TV and you're showing how it is, you're just a fucking idiot. I don't give a shit about that. I don't fucking want ratings fucking like that. Fuck that. But I did the sitcom Learning the Ropes, never seen it, never even heard about it.
Yeah, it looks like it was Lyle Alzado. So it was a series starring Lyle Alzado, a teacher who works as a professional wrestler in the evening. Although his children knew about Randall's double life, the family was forced to keep it a secret at school. Sounds like the story of Von Lilas almost.
It might be, because if all the women knew about you, it would cause stress to your home life, because you had nothing but women driving by your house and leaving love notes on your door and stuff, and you didn't need that kind of stress.
Yeah, so it showed footage of the NWA, Flair, Blanchard, Garvin, the Road Warriors, and the teacher was known as the rule-breaking mask maniac. Was played by a real life wrestler. So when he went under the hood for the TV sitcom, it was played by Steve Williams. That's got to be Dr. Death, right?
Well, Steve Williams is Steve Austin's real name, but it might have been Dr. Death.
I just Steve clicked Williams on it. It's Dr. Death.
Okay, yeah, awesome.
I'm gonna see if I can find it and watch it.
There you go.
Learning the Ropes. Teachers.
Yeah. What was the big the guy, the star of it?
Lyle Alzado. Remember Lyle Alzado? He was the
guy that died.
Steroid dude, right? Died of steroids, basically. The Raiders. Wasn't it him?
Yeah. And I was a big fan of his. And then I said, well, hell yeah, you take them goddamn steroids, you're gonna fucking croak. I mean, you know that when you started. What the fuck? You're trading time. That's like if you're fat, you're gonna die of a heart attack. You take steroids, you're gonna fucking die of a heart attack.
Some people take them though and have still a great, pretty decently long life, and wouldn't have probably had that life without steroids.
You wouldn't have that life without steroids.
I guarantee you there's people that made it in NFL, baseball, NBA, that especially in the 90s, 80s, 90s, that took steroids that probably would have never made it in that sport without taking steroids. Guaranteed.
Oh no, I agree with that. But they probably all died 20 years too early.
Maybe, but just think, you made probably millions and
I wouldn't want to fucking be worried about that fucking shit.
No.
But that's just me. You make personal choices, right?
Yep.
All the guys that were known as steroiders, the ones I knew, pretty much they're all dead. And they all had heart attacks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a trade-off, right? What the hell?
Agree. Hey, thanks, Senator of the Board. Me and Rip are going to start watching a new sitcom together, Learning the Ropes. Come over every Friday night, Rip, and we'll watch Learning the Ropes together. All right.
Okay, I'll be there in a minute. Today's
Tonight.
Friday.
Tonight, yeah.
Okay, I might be a little bit late, so we'll try it and see what the hell happens. Yeah, Lyle Zato, he was a badass, but I just knew that with my personality that I become addicted to shit, doing anything. I knew not to goddamn do it, or I would have been dead real quick. I would have abused everything.
Somehow I was going through some pictures the other day, and I happened to come across this picture here, Rip.
See, Brandy used to give me these headbands, and then we would wear each other's t-shirts. So I was a Macho Man t-shirts. So that's my mom, Greg, my dad, Jim Plump, my brother Brett, my sister Jan, Corey and Eric Plump, and me in my Macho Man t-shirt with one of Randy's Go to Hell headbands. I come home. That was probably 1978 or 79.
So is that Jan sitting next to you?
Yeah, she's on my right.
Yeah, there's only one besides your mom. There's only one female, so that's Jan, huh?
Yeah.
And who's in the Indiana Central shirt then?
Well, that's my brother Brett.
Oh, that's Brett. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm 9 years older than him.
Oh, wow. You got the Macho Man shirt. Looks like you got the short shorts on with your balls almost hanging out. You got the headband on.
Go to Hell headband. The Go to Hell headband. Yeah.
Why is it called that? Does it actually say that on there?
No, we just always called them the Go to Hell headbands.
Man, that is awesome. What a great family picture there.
That
you look like you fit right in, Yeah.
Well, I was the only weirdo. That was awesome.
That's what I'm saying. I was being sarcastic.
Yeah.
Maybe they all just didn't fit in. Maybe you were the normal one and they all just.
Well, okay. It's like Greg, he got married and he's been married to the same woman for how many years? Jan married Jim. She's married to him for how many years? So mom and dad, see, my mom lived to 88. My dad lived to 85. I'm the only goofball. I'm the only weirdo. So what the hell?
Yeah. Can't have it all. Steer the board, $5. Thanks, Steer the board. Keep us in business today, man. Rip, give me your pick. Greatest world champion. Now, Steer the board's a big time supporter of this channel, so don't get on him for saying greatest. Maybe it just means to this group. Greatest world champion: Briscoe, Funk, Race, or Flair?
I always had to go, no matter what, it's going to be Terry Funk, because he could go baby face or heel, just wild. He was second generation wrestler. Jack Briscoe was great, but he was such a great technician. Even when he had to work heel, he was really a baby face. Harley Race was great, and Flair was probably the last great NWA heavyweight champion. But I always say Terry Funk's him and Buddy Rogers were my two favorite wrestlers, so I got to go with Terry Funk on that. But they were all great, and what they would do, they would have the NWA meetings, and they would say, okay, you're going to have the belt. And then then you're having it for how long? That's like they give Tommy Rich the belt for like, I think it was 11 days or something like that. And then Ronnie Garvin was champion for a little while, but then again, then you'd be introduced as an ex-NWA champion, which you were super elite. So but that's like WWE could do now. They could say, okay, this is whoever, they could take an unknown, he wins the Royal Rumble. Then he can never win a match the rest of his career, but he could always be introduced as the guy that won the Royal Rumble in 2025 or whatever the hell it is. I know I'm going back and forth, but anyway, it's Terry Funk's my choice.
Terry Funk.
Yeah.
Frank Spicklebarrel asks, in green, been a long time listener in green. I had skipped some questions here. I want to go back and get one from Frank today. being always on here. Rip, ever work Tony Gurria? I don't know that we've ever talked Tony Gurria on this show.
Well, Tony Gurria, he was there when I worked WWWF, worked in Philadelphia Arena and Allentown for the old WWWF, Vince McMahon Sr. And I remember Tony, he was asking me to check out some rap for him to see if he could get some play. So I remember that. And then when he was leaving, I remember he passed me, tooted the horn and waved at me, but he was always he was a boss and he was an agent for years. And he had that good Australian accent. So he was a good looking guy and he could get any woman he wanted. So hats off for him.
So Tony Gurria, that when I first started doing extra work for WWE or F or whatever it was,
yeah,
he was the one back then. They would cut you a check right there on site.
Right.
And he was the check guy. He was the guy you saw to get paid. And he was the guy you saw when you got there to like sign in.
Right.
I think you got paid when you signed in, now that I think about it. But you had to find Tony Gurria. That was always the guy to find. Yeah, he did have that accent. He was a nice guy. I mean, he was he was nice.
Yeah. He was stealing all those years and just living the dream. So more power to him.
Yeah, I wonder why they ever got rid of him.
I have no idea. Somebody can hiccup the wrong thing or cut a fart. Somebody didn't like it, or who knows? They do what the hell. When you're the ultimate company and everybody wants to work for you, they do what the hell they want to.
True.
And you're just happy that you had a hell of a run with them.
All right, I'm trying to find something else here. Chris Gallegos, you know Chris? I don't know if he's new to the channel or not. I'll give him a little shout out here. Are you a country music fan, Rip?
Well, if I'd get in the car and whatever station's it on, I just leave it on there. So if it's a country and western station, that's fine. But usually I'm just, hell, I don't even drive anymore. So if I can't figure out how to turn the things on and stuff. I wasn't a big country and western fan, but since a lot of wrestling fans was, I get used to it. I used to hate it, but now it's tolerable. And there's so many channels that you can hear all these different songs and stuff. So I like a lot of country western. I recognize the songs, but I haven't bought an album or anything. They still have albums since the 70s.
I think so.
So
is there any music you like? Any favorite bands? Any? We never talk music on here. Give anything.
No, all the stuff I liked was like the Beatles, the Dave Clark Five, Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs, Herman's Hermits, shit like that in the 60s when I was a kid growing up and I was in a band. So that was one thing. But after that, I wouldn't know I wouldn't know the name of the songs, who sang them or whatever, but you recognize them when the music's playing at the gym or something.
Has the Machine said Gary Valiant is Gary Scott. He did jobs in WWE. You were talking about Gary Valiant earlier.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know it was Gary Scott.
Shane Parks in Green says, ever wrestle or team up with Big John Studd?
I was in a lot of shows with him, and he was total gimmick. He'd step over the top rope. I remember when he was he worked for Dick the Bruiser, and I'd be Mark hanging around and stuff.
Oh, he did? I didn't know that. Was he John Studd then, or was he somebody else?
It'll hit me later of what his name was, but he was probably about 6'9", and but everybody he'd call, no matter who it was, he'd call him Little Man.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He was a good guy though.
Italian wants to know, do you like John Mellencamp's music and do you consider him famous?
Well, if you were my age, he's the most famous person I really know. As far as, growing up with, playing football with, being in his videos and shit like that. And we've known each other since he was 10, since I was 9 or 10 years old, when he just lived a couple blocks away from Emerson Field, where we played Little League then. And I was on the Rockets and he was on the Bears. And then we was in the
How do
fourth.
you remember that? See, don't you ever tell me again. How am I supposed to remember that? It's so long ago. When you just told me your little league team with John Mellencamp's little league team, just like that.
Well, when you get my age, then you'll say, now I understand. Because I remember there was a picture in the Seymour Tribune where it had me and John Mellencamp. They used to have a thing called forward punt, pass, and kick thing.
Yep.
And Stan Schreier from Seymour was 2 years older than me. He won it when he was either 9 or 10 years old, but he was the best one of everybody in the nation.
Oh, wow.
And they would have the finals like at the halftime of some pro football game. They'd be on TV and stuff. It's just awesome. But there's a picture of me, and I was famous for getting second like 4 years in a row. Always losing to first they started out, you get 3 chances for each one. Then it was 2. Then it was 1. And, you know, on your punts, you can shank one or kick it straight up in the air or whatever. But anyway, yeah, John Mellencamp, there was a picture. He was one of the winners, and I was one of the winners. So, and then Stan Schreier was? Yeah. Oh. But Stan Schreier was Seymour's greatest athlete after Danny Thomas Sr. in Seymour. He was a year older than Barron Hill, but Beamish won like 36 games pitching, like 9 each year in baseball, played on the varsity 4 years. And then he was played varsity football, and he was a quarterback until they moved him his senior year. But Stan Schreier, he was just great. John
Mellencamp, you guys aren't in the same class, right?
No, he was in my sister's class. He graduated in 1970. Mine was 72.
So he was older than you.
Oh, yeah. 2 years older. And his uncle, God damn it, his dad's brother, I can't think of him. Joe Mellencamp. Joe was one of he was a guy that worked on the gravel thing, and he was one of the guys with muscles. And when I was a little kid, he was like, I would look up to him and shit, just go around. He'd hang around uptown. And I said, man, that's Joe Mellencamp. He was like a badass. And
you're talking about his dad?
Or his
brother?
That wasn't his dad. Remember when his dad lived out by the
yeah, he still has a house here. His dad's still alive and kicking and style and profiling. He has a driver and everything.
Yeah, but that's not Joe. That would have been his dad's brother.
So Joe's his uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, his dad's still going last night.
Yeah.
Somebody showed me a picture of him that they saw him somewhere just last month or so.
Yeah, he always had the full head of hair.
Oh yeah, still looking.
His mom worked with my dad at the post office all those years. Because I remember when John lived down by Emerson School, then he moved out to what I called it, that big mansion when you're driving out of town there.
Yep. His dad, I think his dad still lives there.
Okay.
Out past the Rockford Inn or whatever. Yep. That little.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. Billy Ray Dollar, 99. Yeah, memories. $9.99 super chat. Billy Ray Dollar. Did you ever get to wrestle Terry Funk?
No, I didn't. But what I did do is, me and Regal had the caravans in Hanover, Germany, and Terry Funk come over and told us stories about 4 or 5 hours. It was me, Regal, and Max Payne was there, and he was just telling us. We just sat there and shut the fuck up. And he'd go from telling how he got started, talking about the old Amarillo territory, all the guys he worked with, all the different, and he was about as normal guy as you could get. When he was Terry Funk, it was one thing, but when he was just sitting back there, he was just Terry. And to sit back there and just fucking listen to all these stories, all these great shenanigans, all these great ribs, I was like a little kid in a goddamn candy store. It's fucking awesome.
That's awesome. I say the same thing about you, off the air. I always say Rip is about the most normal guy as you can get.
Yeah, normal, right?
So were you in Funk ever? I know you just said he was at the Caravan, but were you ever in like a territory together? Did you ever?
No.
That's kind of wild that you were never.
Well, usually he was like a champion.
Yeah, so he was probably. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and he would go to different. You go all over the world and stuff.
Yeah.
But I was just always I was always I was just a super fan of him and Buddy Rogers.
Yeah. Brian Colstein Green said to Rip, did you ever get down to the Amarillo territory?
No, it was gone. They went out of business, and it was Terry Funk's dad run it. Dory started there. That's also the place where Ted DiBiase worked there. Tully Blanchard worked there. Bruiser Brody worked there. Stan Hansen worked there. Manny Fernandez worked there. All these Tito Santana, all these guys that were great wrestlers. They played football. They all played at West Texas State, and they were all great wrestlers, but their football team wasn't worth shit.
Yeah. Frank, I don't know. He said, how about sharing girls with the Medic from Memphis Wrestling? Is there a story on that? Did you used to share girls with the Medic? Is there something I'm missing there?
I don't know who the medic is.
I mean, sure. Yeah.
There used to be, they would, when you go to different places, they'd make somebody might be on vacation, and they hurt him last week, so they put him in long tights, put a hood on him, and make him the Medic or the Assassin or El Diablo or whatever. Because I had to be a Mexican with a mask on a couple times for TV for some shows. I can't remember what it was though.
Who was Truth Magnum? Shiloh. Remember that dancing? Who was the dancing guy? I remember used to in DCW we had like 8 of them, but there was always him, and it was always under the same. It was God, what was his name?
I can't remember.
You remember what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh shit. I wonder if he'll reply to me. He probably won't now that he's a big TV star. God, it's gonna drive me nuts. And he was like numero uno or whatever, and he used to always do this, and he always did like the same dancing move. You don't remember that?
No. Then if somebody would bring it up, I'd say, then it might ring a bell. I said, oh yeah, that's right, he did do that. But I can't to get all those years separated, all those guys I had in class and everything. It's just I'll be thinking different memories and shit.
Yeah, it's gonna drive me nuts. I hope he replies. Center of the board said that where was that at? I was just gonna put that up there since he brings a lot of this stuff up. Greatest wrestling match ever, he thinks. Terry Funk versus Harley Race, February 1977 in the Maple Leaf Garden.
Oh, I imagine it was a great one. That's for damn sure. I never seen it. I don't know how
Scott Robert the Sage wants to know any stories about the WCW, whatever that was called. He called it Barrel Bowl, but what was it called? The one
Battle Bowl.
Battle Bowl, yeah. He must have typoed it. Battle Bowl.
Oh, that was the one where Dusty said he'd get me fired and get me blackballed if I said I can't work that night. I'm booked for Bobby Fulton. He said, you will work that show, or you'll be blackballed, and I'll make sure you did. I'll make sure you blackball your ass. So that was when on the first Battle Bowl they would pull them out. So that's when I was Hawk's partner. So everybody kicked me, go into the ring, and Hawk press slammed me on. That was the only time I got in the ring. He press slammed me on top of Booker T. So I told Booker T, I beat Booker T. Ha ha ha. So were
you surprised that he did that with you? That he used you like that? That he used you at all? That he wanted you at Battle Bowl?
Well, what it was is he knew I could do the job, and it was already in his mind because he had enough shit on his mind. So he just wanted me to do it because that would be one of them things that that's why you treat it like sports and you have upsets. And then forever I could have worked all the time, and no matter what, I won was in the first Battle Bowl thing or something like that. It'd be Von Lilas. Oh yeah, he was king of the ring in the second WrestleMania or whatever like that. But this guy was won the Triple Crown in 1955. This guy was Home Run King, the National League in 1961. But you're famous for something.
Doug Tate from Seymour legend on here as well, is talking about good trip down Seymour memory lane. And he mentioned he wanted to throw the shout out to Jim Plump, Channel 2's only Jim Plump. Cable News 2, Rip. Remember ever watching Cable 2 News there in Seymour? I love that, man.
That's how we would draw the, that's like how the King would have all those tickets sold. They'd have King would have tickets on sale, and then Jim Plump would have tickets on sale, and Jim Plump, they would have the Cable News on all the time, and he'd be talking, we'd be getting, we'd spend nothing on advertising. We get stuff on newspaper for free, radio for free, because we was over in the town. We had the King there. So I had Jim Plump. I used to rib him. I called him the honorary mayor of Seymour, because he was a political figure, really, was what it was. He had his hand in everything. He's a smart guy.
Yeah, I just like the Cable 2 News show because it was like the local newspaper, but on TV every night. And you could see the sports highlights and who beat who and who did what. And I thought that was awesome.
I wish we had cell phones then.
No, I don't.
Well, but then you could see there's Vaughn Lilas. Here's a clip of you pitching when you're in high school. Here's a picture of you fucking hitting the fucking.
But they had some of that stuff on Cable 2 News. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about too. I said I wish I would have had a phone so I could have, if I'd have been smart enough to keep some of them clips and keep it on your phone forever. That's what I was looking at.
Nah, I loved it. I loved it back then. No phone, Rip. You're the only one addicted to your damn phone. You said cell phones ruined the world, and you're like, oh, I wish I would have had a cell phone in the 70s. Oh,
well,
bullshit.
if I could have had pictures and stuff, yeah. It's like I got a picture of our family, the old Olon Mills that used to be over there by the turf room, and I'm about 10 years old, and Brett's just a little baby then. So yeah, we had to go to that where the turf room was at. Cy Van Foss, and he ran it. And that's when I worked. I'd worked for the turf room, like Christmas break and stuff when I was in college. So that was cool.
Didn't Olin Mills, wasn't that was the picture photography?
That was, right? Yeah, that was the photography place.
Didn't that guy? I'll use the word alleged. Didn't that guy allegedly get busted for like having cameras in the dressing rooms and stuff while the girls were changing senior picture outfits?
I don't know, but sounds good with me. I wish I'd have seen some of them.
I'm pretty sure he did. Visvex just tuning in. Visvex tuning in today and says, have you spoke about the movie being made about Randy Savage, and have they contacted Rip about it? Yeah, what's the new? There's a new Savage like documentary or movie or something coming out.
Yeah, I called 2 days ago, and somebody answered the phone. They're in my contacts. And if I ain't going to get off this thing and look up whatever, but I got it. It's in my contacts now. So that if they call and I see it's them, I'll answer the phone. So what it was, I called this guy's secretary, and they're doing a bunch of biographies or whatever with different stuff. So I called and asked about it, but I called the secretary's number, but somebody else answered the phone. She said, well, I'll give them the message. So I explained to them who I was. I would probably know more than anybody about Randy Savage, this and that, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Has anybody got back with me? No. But
so you reached out to them.
Yes.
About you wanting to get on the show because you feel like you know more about Randy, and they keep doing all these damn documentaries and never include people that really know him. Like
yeah, that's it right there.
Can I how did you get this contact number? Somebody gave it to you?
Sent it to me. I saw it on my phone, and when we get off here, I'll send you a picture of it or whatever, the guy, what he's called, and this and that. So I guess he's a big star, but I didn't know anything about it. But
right there, center of the board, there's a star Rip just met, and he doesn't even know who it is or anything about him.
Well, I guess he's a star because he makes all this shit, but I don't know who they are. I don't watch TV anyway.
Yeah, it is kind of wild that they've had multiple Randy Savage things, and you've not been included in any of them except for the one that was done at Lila Studios, and I've never even been able to see it. I wish I could find it or see it or know what it was called or anything. Have you ever watched the one they did at my house?
No.
Do you remember what it was called or anything?
No.
Like if I know in the past I've Googled like Randy Savage documentaries and things like that. I've never been able to find it. But didn't Dylan watch it once or something? He said he watched it, didn't he?
Well, I if he did, I can't remember.
I would love to see that one. I mean, we did it in my house.
Yeah, I remember.
They sent a whole TV crew and everything. I got paid. They paid me to use my house. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, I got to get going. It's 1:20. We've been on here for an hour and 20 minutes, man. We got our new members today, Rip, Billy Ray Dollar, Alfred Allen. We got all kinds of super chats today. Shane Parks, center of the board. Sean N.G., center of the board. William Lynn, Shane Parks, Brian Colsty, center of the board. Center of the board. Pot Tripper Jr., center of the board. Billy Ray Dollar. I mean, center of the board once again, the all-star of the show, but a lot of other important people coming in helping us out today. Appreciate that.
Don't put Manny over.
Manny just kind of flies in, puts himself over, and leaves. I've kind of noticed his pattern. He's not on, here at the end and really contributing and participating and all that kind of stuff. He gets himself over and jets.
No vet sighting today, right?
No, I haven't seen the vet in a while, man. Maybe I should check in on the vet. Have you talked to the vet lately? I haven't.
But we're looking for two people now, Opinion and Haver.
Oh, I forgot almost. My buddy, Jamie Wingler, was out and about today down in Kentucky. I don't know if you can read that, but he visited. We just started talking about Randy Savage, Elizabeth Ann Hewlett's gravesite today. Just sent me that picture today. Found it. Frankfort, Kentucky. R.I.P. R.I.P. Liz.
Don't get no better than that.
It's crazy.
I didn't know she was married to some lawyer after Randy for just a little while.
Yeah, I don't. If I heard it, I don't remember it. I don't recall that. All right.
Okay, does that mean it's playing?
Fave music, act like you can't hear it.
Well, it's not playing on there now.
Like you always do.
Okay.
Good rib. I love that you keep the rib up. You can't hear the music, but everybody else can, including our guest that we have on here.
Well, I can't hear it right now, but when I play it back, I'll get it.
Everybody have a good weekend. We'll see you back here next weekend. Same time. Concrete, baby.
Don't get any better than that.